And with that being said, welcome back, gamers, to the Experience Points podcast. And today is episode 4, and it is May 30th, 2020. Or, as people call it, covidyear.com. It's a website. Go check it out. and today I'm joined by Blackout. Say what's up, Blackout.
What's happening? It's your boy Blackout.
He's very humble, and we also have a special guest today. We are joined by Alistair, a.k.a. Kevin, a.k.a. the man.
Nice.
Say what's up, brother.
How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, we're definitely glad to be here. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about the PS5 announcement that they're going to be having for next week, and we are super excited to get something on the damn the Sony side of things, even if it's not the console itself. We're going to talk about Splatoon and their 5-year anniversary. We're going to talk about Crystal Chronicles, amongst other things, so get excited for that. So the first topic of today is going to be the PlayStation 5 announcement. What were you guys' thoughts on it?
I'm just hoping for a price. I want to pre-order that so bad. It's like I'm trying to give them my money here.
Shut up and take my money.
I want the release date.
Yeah.
But I guess that, those two kind of go together, though. Like, I want to know when it comes out so I can pre-plan, because I don't really care how much it's going to cost. I'm going to get it anyway.
Yeah. People are talking $450, $500, but I know that as soon as they put that price out, they're going to be like, pre-order time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, according to the blog post that was on there, they said that this showing that they're going to have this Thursday coming up, hopefully it doesn't change or whatever, but it's supposed to be just an announcement of the games lineup, and it's supposed to be an hour long.
That's going to be quite a bit of games. I know I'm just getting right off of work right when it starts too.
I got you. Yeah, it's about the same for me. I mean, I'll be home around 3:30, but still, I mean, how the hell are they going to show an hour's worth of launch games and launch titles and stuff like that unless they have like an in-depth deep dive into each one of the games? You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking it's going to be like E3 caliber gameplay video footage.
That means Assassin's Creed is going to be one of the games.
Yes.
Since it's around that time for E3, I think that's when it would have been popping in there.
That is 100% true, and I really hope that's the case. Because if you think back to past E3s, when they actually attended E3s, that's what they did. They had the huge showing, and they brought out each game, and they showed like anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes of each game. So that would be nice, and I'm really hoping for some new IPs. I mean, of course they're gonna have the Assassin's Creeds there, and the other first-party stuff, the sports games and the driving games. But I'm hoping for some brand new IPs.
Well, I mean, they kind of do already have an IP. I don't remember what the game was called, but we talked about that last week, I believe, or whenever that was. But they had like the 5 most anticipated PS5 games. And they had that one game that we was like, what is this?
Yes, I forgot what it was called too, but I guess it must have been that good since we forgot.
Yeah.
It wasn't that memorable. But do you guys have any, aside from pricing and the launch date, is there anything else that you guys are hoping for?
# bring back Battle Arena Toshin Den.
That was one of the best fighting games of all time.
Yes, it was.
And I played it a few weeks ago on my PC, and that game, it still holds up. As far as the graphics goes, obviously, the graphics aren't the best in the world, but the gameplay mechanics are there, and the little certain things that they did, and the voice acting was, even though it was really bad, it was still really good at the same time.
No, it was actually, I liked it. At least in part 1, it was pretty cool. They were all hyped up.
That fool had the deepest voice in the history of voices.
No, that was
ever.
part 2.
That was part 2?
Was horrible. Part 2, they just jacked those voices up in part 2. But that's the more they had, like, they didn't do any English translation, so it was, but like, KN, his like, part 1 like, yeah! And part 2 like,
He has a new career as Barry White. That's what happened.
I'm kind of looking forward to that. Seeing how that Golem game for Lord of the Rings is going to turn out. It seemed like it'd be pretty interesting.
Definitely need more to go by than just saying they're gonna make a Lord of the Rings game featuring golf. Like, yeah. I was like, okay, I mean, you know, Lord of the Rings games look good, but we need more information. Like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna even be? Is he gonna be like in his human form? Or is he gonna be in his little golem form?
I mean, they could go back and show him in his Hobbit form, but I'm thinking a lot of it's gonna focus on like his skulking around after the Hobbit takes place. I think it's probably going to have a lot of the whole maybe Assassin's Creed Metal Gear kind of elements to it.
That could be entertaining.
He's a pretty stealthy guy. So.
Yeah, he is.
I'm thinking that the best thing that they can do for him is to have a dedicated button, so when you push it, he just says "my precious," and then also to
I would buy it for that alone.
And then also to give him a big ass cardboard box just to run around and just freak everybody out.
Cardboard box with fish painted on it.
There you go. That would be so awesome. All right, well, I'm hoping that they actually like fake us out and like show the console. I had like a moment when I saw that Twitter post and they showed the controller. I thought it was black, but I was mistaken. It was just in the shadows. That's all it was. So I was actually excited for a minute because I thought they were gonna have like different color controllers right off the bat that you can like choose from your system.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Stormtrooper helmet.
Oh.
Exactly. Jones, you were saying?
I was gonna say they always usually give you a couple of choices. Well, maybe not for the console, but at least for the controllers and stuff.
Right.
They usually have a couple of colors. Oh, and as long as it doesn't look like that weird-looking alarm clock that I saw that design of a few months ago, I'm okay. You don't remember that early, like when they were showing really early designs of the PS5? It looked like a weird alarm clock.
I've got to look this up because I'm not sure what you're referring to.
It was like blue and black, but it was like an alarm. It was like some spacey alarm clock. It looked terrible. Yeah, you got to look that up, man.
I think you're talking about the early.
Are you talking about the controller or the system?
No, that was the console. That was the console.
Oh, you're talking about the console?
Yeah.
I know that.
You're talking about the one that has the fans in the center and like the V shape.
Yes.
Oh,
abomination.
You know, I don't like it, but I don't hate it either because I do like the idea of the centralized fans being like that, so it can breathe. Because the PS4 is so loud.
Horrible. Yeah.
Even the Pro.
Yeah. They both sound like jet engines. Oh my lord, this thing is god awful. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you will never hear me say this. I prefer the design of any Xbox console over that design.
Well, I am going to tell you that what you saw was the dev kit for the system. That's what you saw.
Okay, well, even the dev kit was ugly.
Well, I'm hoping that they show us just a small glimpse of the console, just a piece of it or whatever, or even if they give us more functionality of the system, like with the share button that they have, the brand new share button that they have. I would love to see exactly what that is. That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I like the controller. It's fine. It's I mean, a little bit different, but it still has the spirit of the PlayStation in it. The color scheme is just a little bit off for me as far as PlayStation goes. Like when I think PlayStation, I think sleek black. Not. But
well, PlayStation 1 was great, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but the 2 and then the 3 and then the 4, everything has been blacked out. And
black, yeah.
Super smooth. No, but actually, I like the two-tone color in it. When I first saw it, I was like, that is a beautiful controller. If you guys have ever played Astrobot for VR, that's what it reminds me of, and I adore that game. 100%.
It does kind of. I do have that game actually.
Yeah, that game is amazing. So good. But that's a topic for another time. Alright, well, here's to hoping that our PS5 dreams come true really, really soon. We will be talking about it next week for sure. with that being said, let's move on to Splatoon 5. They just hit their 5-year anniversary. Do you guys play Splatoon or Splatoon 2?
I have never played it, honestly. I know about it, and I've seen trailers, but it just never fell under my radar of buying it.
I got you.
Hold on, I got you one up on that. I know about it. I bought the original one, never opened it, still in its plastic. Or I got it for Christmas, something like that. The game did look interesting, I'll give you that, but I just never really pulled the trigger on playing it.
No pun intended. When I the very first time I saw this game, I was like, okay, this is obviously a game for kids, and they're trying to suck in all the small children to play a shooter. You know what I'm saying, without it being blood and gory and yucky and nasty. And then I got the original, and I tried to play online. I didn't play the single player game because I honestly didn't get a chance to, because I went straight to the online stuff. And just like a Call of Duty or whatever, I got murdered. So quick. I was so pissed. So I just set it down. I was like, you know what? Forget this damn game. I'm not playing this damn game.
Problem number one: never play anything that involves shooting online without having a lot of practice beforehand, because yes, they will murk you. And it was. And I would also like to say, I don't think it was really a draw for little kids, because those little kids be playing Call of Duty like some crazy people. They be like, it's actually like a funny joke where it's like the little kids are playing Call of Duty while the grown people are playing Pokemon, which is actually true.
That is our generation.
That's because we know quality.
Exactly. Good games. But then I started seeing hype around part 2, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just give this another chance. So I got part 2, and I got halfway through the single player campaign, and I was determined to get good at it. So I played a lot of the multiplayer. I still got murdered, but I played a lot of it, and I really had a great time with it. I mean, the aesthetic of the game is just it's gorgeous on the Switch, especially docked on the on the HDTV. The weapon choice is fun. You get to pick all those different weird kind of clothings, and they did a really good job with the game. And I really hope that whatever Switch iteration comes out next, and we're hoping for a Pro or something like that, or a Switch 2, I hope that they bring back part 3, because this game has already etched out its own little culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Oh yeah,
definitely have another game.
Another 2 or 3 games probably.
I mean, come on, they made it on the Smash Ultimate base lineup, so it's going somewhere. Well, I guess technically all of the characters other than DLC were base, even though you had to unlock them all. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like they were like the big release when they started talking about Switch Smash Ultimate. That was like those were the first characters, the Inklings or the Squidlings or whatever they are.
Nintendo's not one to let go of an idea.
Yeah.
Except for, like Kid Icarus.
Or to a degree, Metroid.
Let's not go there.
They're bringing out more Metroid, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say Metroid. I should have said Star Fox. They've done Star Fox kind of bogus. And other than that remake of Star Fox 64, they've really done nothing with Star Fox in like the last decade.
I have a feeling that Star Fox will be coming back really soon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that other game? I can't remember what it was called. That like
Star
game...
Fox Adventures.
No.
Let's not go there.
Oh my God!
Let's not go there.
I hated that game with a passion. With that stupid dinosaur.
That was Eric's impression of a dinosaur.
Gosh, that game was horrible. And
That's the only.
In the very end, and the flying mechanics were horrible in that game. Oh.
That's the only Star Fox game I've actually truly played and beat.
Really?
I mean,
yeah.
Really?
I mean, I tried the past ones and probably on the Super Nintendo, but I never owned it. So
I can understand. Star Fox 1 was like kind of it was a good game, but it was definitely what we would call a jump for something new. That was like the first game they tried to use that SFX chip and all that other stuff, and the graphics were definitely something that you kind of had to get used to.
But now Star Fox 64. Oh my God.
That game was beautiful.
Oh my God.
That game was what the first game. It was basically what the first game was supposed to be.
I remember coming over to your house, Eric, because you were the one who had all the damn games in the first place, and I didn't have them. So I remember coming over to Eric's house and sitting there and marveling at the water. When he flew over the water, I was like, "Oh my god, the water looks real."
Yeah, my friend
like
Andrew.
If you get the brakes or something. Oh, sorry, go on.
My friend Andrew had all those games, and that's where I played Star Fox 64 originally, multiplayer.
Yeah.
But I never owned a 64. I went from Super Nintendo, then I had a PlayStation, and then I had a GameCube.
You missed out.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with the GameCube, but if you definitely had to own one of the Nintendo systems, it should have been the 64 over the GameCube.
100%. The GameCube
I was
had
too
some
young.
gems. Some gems on that damn system. Oh my god.
I think we were in high school when when the 64 came out, wasn't it?
It was like 7th grade because I remember I got sick because it was like I got Mario 64 and the N64 for Christmas, and I got Killer Instinct Gold, and then I remember at the end of Christmas break I was supposed to come back to school, but I got like an extra 2 days because I got sick off some Taco Bell. I called it the fruit. My sister was like, "This ain't no fruit," but it was I got something from eating Taco Bell, so I got like an extra 2 or 3 days to play it, and I was like, "Yay!"
Doesn't everybody get something from eating Taco Bell then?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hashtag thank you Taco Bell.
But yeah, and then even the first year of the N64, it was just great. Like you had games like Mario Kart 64, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, even Blast Corps.
Oh my god, I love Blast Corps. Blast Corps is so good. You were in that game. Okay, in that game, you were a robot who demolished towns and stuff like that. So my favorite character in the game was this giant robot that looked like Bumblebee, and he did these flips and cartwheels and stuff, and you would run into buildings and just destroy it. Oh my god, I love playing the damn game. That was a fantasy come true for sure. Good stuff all around.
And it actually had a story to it. It was actually, you weren't destroying it on purpose. You had to destroy it because there were like bombs and stuff set up. Like if you didn't do it, then like, you know, if you didn't like meet certain requirements a certain amount of time, then like the whole place would blow up and the people that you were supposed to save didn't get saved.
I see. That was back in what, 1996? Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
that's
so,
when that's when the system first came out. 9th grade, I think it was for me.
I was 15, so yep, I was in 8th grade. All right. Well, one more piece of gaming news that we came across this week that we're interested in: the release of the trailer for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition. Are you guys excited for this one?
I'll say it like this: I actually wasn't really that excited until I actually watched it like 15 minutes before we started broadcasting. And it does actually look pretty good. It kind of brings back memories, even though, like I said, I owned the original game, but I never actually opened it. I had a friend that did open it, so I think we might have like started playing it in multiplayer, but we did not get very far at all. But the game had a lot of interesting things going on for it back then. Plus the fact that I forgot, like, you actually played it with, like, if you did multiplayer, you played with your Game Boy Advance to use the link cable.
Yep, I did not have that or friends where I was at the time, because when I was growing up, I actually moved a lot, so I actually played that game alone, which is not the ideal way to play it.
Same. Yeah, not that particular game, no.
Same for me, because I was the only one in my friend group that had a GameCube. So it was, and nobody really cared about Final Fantasy. I was excited about it because it was first Final Fantasy to a Nintendo system since Super Nintendo.
Final Fantasy 6.
Yep. And I was like, sweet, Squaresoft, welcome back.
And funny thing is, I learned that they did this because of the failures of Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within. Like, they were literally going into bankruptcy because of how much they spent on that movie.
I love that movie.
It wasn't a bad movie, but it should not have had the name Final Fantasy in it.
Exactly.
It pretty much like had so many high expectations that it was just thrown out of the freaking theater as soon as you saw it.
Square always had that habit of tossing Final Fantasy onto a title to make it sell. I mean, the romancing. original Secret of Mana, Romancing Saga series. All those originally were on Game Boy, and they were all called Final Fantasy.
Wait, was Romancing Saga Final Fantasy Legends?
Yep, 1, 2, and 3.
That's funny.
That is funny.
But it's also very complicated. Like, if you didn't know that, it's like, yeah, you always wonder, like, what's up with all these Final Fantasy games that don't feel like a Final Fantasy game on the Game Boy?
It's because they're not. Well, I'm definitely excited for this one. Especially now that I got, you guys, and you guys are definitely hardcore gamers, and this is one that we definitely need to get and play together. I'm hoping it's not $60. I'm really hoping it's more like 30 or 40 because it is so old. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The question is, are you guys getting a Switch or a PlayStation 4?
Okay, now
Still
I
up
heard
in the air.
you mentioning something about it can be cross-platform, which makes an interesting thought there. But I don't know. I mean, if I got it for PS4, it would only be exclusively for trophies. I'm not gonna lie to you there. But at the same time, I might not want to get all the trophies on that game, and therefore it would be better off to get another Switch version.
Either way, I'm going digital for the copy. That's
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. I think
probably the Switch then, since I obviously have more space on that system.
Yeah, I have way more Switch space. Ever since I got that whatever size it was, and it's not even that big. See, that's one thing. It's a lot easier to upgrade space on Nintendo. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that it'll probably be $50 though. If you look at the remake price for Trials of Mana.
That's true.
I thought it was 50 for Trials. Or
50.
Oh.
It's not
it'll
full
probably
price.
be 50 though. It'll probably be 50.
Man.
I don't see it being 40 because I think they did some voiceovers and stuff with this game.
They did, yeah.
Yep.
That is true. Well, I think we owe it to ourselves, to our younger selves, to get it on the Switch to keep it on Nintendo platform. And then that way it'll be a lot easier for us to connect and play that way.
Yeah, that's true. Especially because I'm gonna say I would actually be surprised if it was cross-platform because they hardly do any cross-platform. I know they say they've been doing it, but they really don't do it that often. It's not on it's like on these super obscure games that I've never heard of. Oh, you can do cross-platform multiplayer. Like, okay, so I can do it on Fortnite and 4 other games I've never heard of. Yay, okay.
Well, it is going that way towards the future, I think, just because so many games are, on multiple platforms and people want to play with, their friends.
Well, I think the biggest problem will be between Sony and Microsoft because, I know Sony and Nintendo have kind of become buddy-ish again over the years, and then there's Microsoft and Nintendo are kind of buddy now, but Sony and Microsoft, they kind of have that rivalry. Even with buying those arcade fight sticks, you can't buy one that works on both consoles because I think Sony doesn't want it to work with Microsoft.
Exactly. To the future. Alright, well, that is it for this weekend gaming news, and we're going to move on to our little open discussion. And we're going to talk about our thoughts on trailers and gameplay footage. Do they show too much or too little?
Depends on the game.
I'm going to start off by saying that the last 2 biggest games that I've played, and the one coming up, which is Last of Us 2, I've been trying to avoid everything I can on that game. And I almost started watching the state of play that they had, and it was almost a topic on here. But I decided not against it because I want to be surprised, you know what I'm saying? I know they're going to show a lot. I know they're not going to spoil, any beats in the story, but, they tend to show a lot of stuff. And the same thing with the Ghost of Tsushima. They showed quite a bit. It was only 18 minutes or something like that, but they showed quite a bit. And a lot of that stuff, especially gameplay-wise, I want to be surprised by. You know what I'm saying? I want to discover that part of the game on my own instead of seeing it on the freaking screen before I even get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think as far as trailers go, they're usually pretty good about not divulging much because, that's just the way trailers work. Gameplay footage type stuff, I usually tend to see it as if you don't care about spoilers, then go for it. But most likely it's going to have spoilers just because, it's just straight up gameplay. Unless they do like a Game Freak thing, like with Pokemon, where they just like kind of pull up a level that's just made for that specific, just to show gameplay itself. Because they've done that in the past, where it doesn't have storyline based stuff, but it still shows you what what the starters are going to look like and gives you some kind of anticipation. So I mean, I know a lot of people really like the gameplay stuff, just so they could, it kind of builds the hype.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll say, like, going along with that, I understand what you're saying, like, with they did for the Sword and Shield release, like, they show the 3 starters, like, playing in that area that literally doesn't look like it ever appears. It almost looks like they're playing in the real world when they're doing their little moves and stuff. Like, that definitely didn't actually happen, so that was a pretty cool thing. But also, like, I personally try to avoid trailers most of the time. It depends on what kind of game it is. So, like, for Final Fantasy 14, for example, they do a really good job of showing trailers where it gets you enough to get hyped on the new patch or expansion, but they don't show enough to actually, like, or they'll show it out of context where it doesn't really spoil any storyline, because there's a lot of story that can be spoiled easily. And then we go with Spider-Man. That was a great game, but I'm gonna tell you, ever since I watched like the trailer that came out like 6 months before the game came out, I swear it had
that
like
pissed me off.
That
made me so mad.
End of the game, like, wow, I could not believe, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna run it this early. No, this was like, this was literally the end of the game. They had like the whole cutscene of what was happening. I'm like, wow.
I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. He is my favorite superhero of all time, and the fact that they showed Sinister Six in the freaking trailer made me so angry.
Yeah,
I was like, you dirty bastards. Now, I will say that that Square Enix and Nintendo do very good jobs of creating trailers that make you intrigued about the game and make you want to play. I even come across a couple of trailers that they had where it was like for an indie game or something like that, and I watched the trailer, but then when I played the game, it was actually a lot different than what I expected. Now, that's what I really enjoy.
Well, I mean, like, sorry, go.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because bouncing off of Eric's Square Enix title, like with Final Fantasy 14, they were so like secretive about like the stuff that they're bringing to the expansions that they released the trailer in tiers, and each time they released a new trailer, like even they were even like putting stuff in the middle of the trailer that they had taken out, so every time the trailer came out again, it was expanded. So nice. You'd still have to watch that same beginning over and over. But I mean, they did, because the full trailer release, it just basically showed off everything that was coming up, job wise, race wise, everything. So they were really good about that, I think.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Yeah, I love a good trailer, but I hate a bad trailer.
That's why you have to be very careful about it. Like you said, like I have no quarrels with watching something like Square Enix or like Nintendo, because they do it right. But like, those other companies that may not have the experience with it, like I will never watch another Spider-Man trailer. That's for sure.
I think my biggest issue in the past for trailers has always been that the trailers show you what the game is about, but they didn't like show you what the game would actually look like. Like, you get the game and you're like, oh, this is really like nothing like the trailer.
Oh yeah.
I don't really have any like top of the head examples for this. It's just something you'd see on E3 and stuff like that in the past.
I think Dead Island is a really good example. Not that I actually played Dead Island, but I don't know how this came up, because they were like making mentions of Dead Island 2, and I was just like doing some random searches. They were talking about how like Dead Island had like, they wished the game was actually like the trailer. Like the trailer made it look so good, but then the actual game was like not like that at all.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I mean, if you're gonna market a game, why not show what it looks like and what it can do? You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to fluff it up, because then after that you're gonna get bad press.
Yeah, that's one of the reason why I like some of the gameplay footage ones, so you can actually see what the game looks like, as long as it's like not horribly too much. Like, you don't want to ruin the story, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to be disenfranchised when you get the game and be like, this isn't what I wanted.
That is always one of the first things I search for when I look at, you know, something that's supposed to be gameplay. You know, I'll check the bottom right or left-hand corner to see that small disclaimer that says this is not actual gameplay footage, because they'll put that crap in the corner.
Yeah, that's true.
And a prime example is the Xbox game show reveal that they had a couple weeks ago. In the very bottom right, it was at the right or left hand corner, it said, you know, that it's not gameplay necessarily, it's like it's in-engine footage is what they said, or something like that. So I was like, well, this is not gameplay. It looks amazing, but it's not gameplay.
Yeah.
Freaking liars.
That's basically them just going off of cutscenes. Like, okay, we're gonna show you some cutscenes. We're gonna make it think it's gameplay, but it ain't gameplay.
Like game engine demo. Yeah, I already know what my system could do. Thanks.
Exactly, jackasses.
they literally just put that so you watch it. That they like put live words on it just to make you click their videos, because you know they get paid the more subscribers and all that other stuff. So they're basically it's clickbait.
Clickbait.com, which is something I hate, but something I love is Animal Crossing. Did you like that segue? That was a good segue. About, I think on last week's episode, maybe it was 2 episodes ago, I told Blackout that, you know, I was kind of done with Animal Crossing. But what had happened was I had played it kind of my way, and I kind of did some time skipping. And
disclaimer: his way is cheating.
Shut up.
Time skipping.
Okay, hold on.
Black market, getting bells. This man had a freaking sweatshop, cloning some switches, selling them on the freaking Nook Market. Man, he was doing all sorts of stuff, abusing his freaking neighbors. He was going around. He actually, at one point, like, fixed one of his neighbors into their house. And it looked so bad because he was at the opening, and it just like trying to find a way out. It was so bad.
Yeah. Okay, that was pretty bad, and I will definitely put the video on screen at this very moment of me doing that, because I felt bad afterwards. But something magical happened, because I did fence him in. I made sure he was in his house. Okay, it was that damn eagle. I hated that son of a bitch. That sad eagle. It was terrible. Anyway, he was always walking around like doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. I was like, dude, I can't have this sad ass on my damn island. So I made sure he walked into his house. So, like, I followed him very closely. I hid behind trees. I waited for him to go in his house, and then I put up the fence really fast. And then the next day, when I started the game, he was like he was in the store buying some freaking wallpaper. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how'd you do that?
He jumped.
I will say, I think they cheat when it comes to like going into other houses, because I know like one time one of my neighbors was like in their in the store. They literally, when I walked out the store and went by their house, they're already in their house.
Oh my lord!
What you don't know is they have teleport pads that you don't.
They've taken that Team Rocket. They've taken that Team Rocket teleport pad gameplay.
Animals only.
Filthco.
There you go. Animals only. No freaking humans allowed. But yeah, I've since I did that, you know, I got bored with the game because I did everything too fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did.
Hash app, and I've been playing. I've been playing Animal Crossing since 2001, so I know what the experience is like. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is Blackout's first time playing the game, so he's enjoying it to its fullest. And that's how I played.
Really?
That's how I played it the first time too. You know, I didn't time skip. I actually didn't know about time skipping until like a good 3-4 months into the game. When I first started playing the game back in 2001, I started playing in the wintertime, so that was a hell of a lot of fun, and I really cannot wait till wintertime this year. But I called a nuclear physicist, I ordered a bomb, and I blew up my island. And that's the thing you can do. True story. So I started over, and I'm taking it day by day, and I haven't time skipped at all, and even though I did start with a little bit of extra money.
Yeah, 6 million extra money.
4 million. So.
All right.
But I mean, honestly, that hasn't really come into play, you know, because when you first start off, everything is everything you need, you have to collect and forage and create and make. You can't really buy that much stuff in the beginning. So I'm 1 week into it, and aside from my house having 3 rooms in it, everything else is pretty much still low level. Eric, how are you finding your experience being 2 months in?
I'm still enjoying it. Like I can take it a lot easier now that I don't have debt. I haven't finally changed my title because I'm not Nook
Finally
anymore.
Finally.
Yeah. Hey, I wasn't changing my title till I was paid off.
And he can't get mad at you too much about time travel.
I personally didn't do anything. The worst thing I ever did was,
He went back to a Sunday to buy turnips because I had 500 turnip prices.
To be fair, it was actually Saturday evening, so I only, let's just say, I wouldn't say times. Let's just say I like this I ran real fast about 5 hours into the future, and then I slept and made the time go back to even the next day.
Cute.
That's all I did. That is all I did.
Because that's how time travel works.
It wasn't time travel. It was more like a time walk.
It's cute.
I didn't travel really.
Yeah.
So I was not aware that this was your first Animal Crossing game.
I told you it was my first Animal Crossing game.
I thought you had played the one on 3DS at least.
Nope. I remember I told you when I first got it, I was like, man, this is my first Animal Crossing game. I did that around day 2 or 3, I'm pretty sure. Because I didn't know nothing.
Yep, well, I'm glad you had this experience.
I do owe it to Zero Sin for actually convincing me to get this game, because I was really on the fence about it the entire time.
No, I remember. It took me about a week to convince this fool to buy this damn game.
I saw it originally on the N64, but I didn't own it, and I didn't play it until the GameCube, and then I missed out on City Folk on the Wii, because I didn't have a Wii.
Yeah, actually, I didn't play the one for the Wii because I didn't know it existed, to be honest.
Man, you had the wrong consoles. You missed the 64 for the GameCube, and then you missed the Wii for the Wii U.
I had a Wii U.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You didn't.
I like the Wii U.
Me too.
It was okay, but in terms of games, the Wii was definitely way more revolutionary. But at least you could play the Wii games on the Wii U.
Okay, so I never owned a Wii. When I moved out to Wisconsin, my wife, she had a Wii, and so I was able to experience that. And I had friends that had a Wii, so it's not like I missed out. Don't feel bad for me, Eric. It's
okay.
You said a video, Kevin, that you are kind of falling off of it. What's going on?
It's just since I got all the mortgage paid off, I was kind of hoping for like increase in room size for the back and the side rooms, because they're pretty tiny, and I would have gladly paid Tom Nook for more of that.
Me too.
Yeah. Same.
But right now it's just to the point where it's just day-to-day grind, checking on stuff. I'm not really too worried about money, other than I'll still toss a 99,000 bell into a hole to see if it'll grow into that amount. But other than that, I mean, collecting bugs and stuff, I just fish and bugs. I've been seeing the same stuff like every day.
I got you.
And like sometimes on the weekend I can put more time into it, but like getting the golden trout, I think I have like one more day for that, unless I do the time travel.
What's a golden trout?
It's a mountain fish that like stops spawning after May 31st.
Oh, I'm not even worried about like my insects and stuff like that. I mean, I'll get them as I see them, but I personally don't try to go out my way like your wife does to get everyone. She's done time skipped all over the year trying to get those things.
No, to be fair, I don't think she's gone past June.
Oh, okay.
That is one of my favorite things to do, is to catch bugs and fish in this game. Even though the fishing, I've not had a lot of luck with the fishing. I mean, I'll get maybe one new fish a day, maybe. But aside from that, I still enjoy doing it. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, my goal usually is to get everything from the museum. That's my end game, and that's what keeps me going every day. But I mean, I already have all the fossils collected. so that part's done, and
Dealing
now
with
it's
that
just
jackass
basically
Red.
waiting for Red to show his butt up and like I want to do the terraforming, but I think once I get into the whole terraforming, I'm gonna have to move all the houses around. So I'm going to become a time traveler for sure, because I do not have the patience to wait one day every time.
I do. I'm a very patient person, believe it or not. But
we don't believe it.
Saying. It's a pain in the butt. That's actually probably one of the reasons why I haven't done any real terraforming. Because I know for a fact there's a couple of things I want to move around, but it's like, I don't feel like doing all this. Oh, they should let you at least move more than one thing at a time. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous. You can't even make a bridge and two bridges at the same time. Come on.
Yeah. Or you can't demolish a bridge and then, I mean.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're saying. I haven't even demolished my stupid wooden bridge yet because I don't feel like waiting 2 days to have a new bridge up. I mean, I could terraform it until it's ready, but I don't want to do all that.
True.
I think my biggest thing about terraforming is, so I created a canyon just like right straight to the secret beach.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to build a bridge between one side of the cliff to the other.
Mm-hmm.
But bridges are only allowed to be built over water, and the water has to be at that level that you're building the bridge.
So
and I think it was really short. Nope, it was really short-sighted, because I would have loved to have a bridge up there, and instead I just had to make another ramp, and the bridge would have been awesome because you running underneath the bridge.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
that's something I did not think about. Well, with all the awesomeness and all the short-sightedness, I like that, of Animal Crossing, there have been a ton of good and bad memes coming out of this bad boy, and I see at least 5 memes a day that just blow my mind. I don't know how people are doing these damn things half the time, but people will exploit games and they will find a way. So I'm going to share one of them. I'm going to share 10 of them, but this is the first one, so you guys can go ahead and check this out. This guy, he created a stack of pancakes out of a custom hat.
Nice.
I know, right? It made my mouth water. I want those damn pancakes.
That's a hat? Wow.
Yes, I thought that was very, very ingenious. This next one is it's pretty bad. The title said that I made a rock garden, but does it look like something else?
Oh Lord!
I know what she be doing with that damn thing.
Killing herself.
Hashtag hentai. And then this next one is really awesome because this guy said that his mom had passed away, and then he played some Animal Crossing to make himself feel better, and then he had a visitor on the island, and it's basically his mom's name is the same name as his villager that showed up. I mean, how crazy is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. He was like, if this ain't a sign, I don't know what.
So speaking of mothers, by the way, I'm pretty convinced that you're adopted in Animal Crossing. I tell you, I put my proper birth date on there, and I checked just to make sure, and it said March 17th, clear as day.
Uh-huh.
And on May 1st, or one of those days where I had to go back to get turnips, I think I went back to like May 17th it was, and I got a letter in the mail from my character's mom saying, "Happy birthday."
Maybe you did it. Maybe you did like a year forward or something instead of like 2 months back. I don't know.
It was May 17th, and she said, "Happy birthday." I was like, "What?"
They definitely do some shocking stuff in this damn
Well,
game.
for somebody who's never done any full, complete time travel, I'll tell you what happens on September 1st. Oh, and speaking of which, today was Hamlet's birthday. Happy birthday to Hamlet. Happy birthday to Hamlet. This is like my 3rd or 4th neighbor's birthday that I've had since the game played.
I have not had a birthday yet.
Yes.
I've had one.
Well, you would have had Nate if you didn't send him off.
Kim has Nate now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have Colton the horse, one of my Yeah, it was his birthday on the 22nd. So I gave him a gift.
Horsebuddy.com.
Yep.
Moving on to the next one. It speaks for itself.
What
you guys just go.
What?
Mabel likes that S&M stuff. That's all I'm gonna say.
Moving
Poor
right
baby.
along.
Poor baby, get it freaky. Next, we're gonna go to some awesomeness, which I've seen this before, but I really like when people do stuff like this. And when I first saw it, I was like, I never even thought about that. Freaking quadruple waterfall. Definitely gotta
That's pretty nice.
You gotta get me one of those. And then everybody's hatred of this year.
Oh God. I saw a meme where they drew unzipping his zipper, and he was like a monster underneath, and he's like, "I told you not to unzip it."
He doesn't bother me as much as he bothered all of you all. I made a decent amount of bank from egg day.
There's something wrong with this dude.
The bunny wasn't the bother. It was all those eggs raining down.
I know,
on you.
and I made a crap ton of money from those eggs.
Well, to me, the bunny was the bother because he's not a rabbit, because we have seen rabbits in the game. He's not a rabbit. He is a freaky little guy in a suit, and he won't come out of it. He needs to get off.
Part of the captain.
Exactly. I know, right? All right, and then this next one is something that we've all done, 100%. As soon as I see my favorite villager, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" Now, damn eagle.
I will say that all the villagers I have, I've never had one move out.
Really?
I always stop them. And I have one. Like none of my villagers. I don't have more than one of each race.
Oh, nice.
As you will.
I have like 5 birds.
My elephant guy, he started off, and I think he's tried to move out twice, and I'm like, nope, you're here forever.
Forever. I just got a new villager in today. It's 2 out of the 3 that you built the houses for, and it's Megan, and I didn't know who Megan was or what she was going to be, but it turns out to be another freaking bear. So I got 2 bears on my island now. I got 2 female bears on my island. And that first bear, she's all over me, and I don't like it. I'm like, chick, you gotta relax.
I had somebody named Timber move in, and I wasn't sure what she was gonna be. Turned out to be like a sheep or something, and she's all right. She gave me the recipe for I think a golden toilet or no.
Wow.
She gave me a recipe. No, it was a. No, I think it was the golden toilet. It was something golden.
Wow, you have a golden toilet. Okay.
No, I have the recipe. I don't have the actual toilet.
Well, that's the perfect segue for this next one. Take a look. Now, I saw this yesterday, and I was like, "Are they shitting in this freaking game? Like I've never seen the shit." But then I got the actual thing. This is actually a fossil, and I got this fossil yesterday.
Oh, so, the coprite or whatever it's called.
I was like,
literal fossilized poop.
Exactly. I was like, that's what it is, you nasty bastards. 2 more left. This next one. Now, this actual meme comes from Chicago, so Chicago version of Animal Crossing. And then this last one, and I've been seeing this too. I don't know how people are changing the words of the freaking people, of the villagers. Like, I guess there's a way to come up with a catchphrase that
they occasionally ask you to change it, like give them a new catchphrase.
I've never been asked that before.
That's because you skip too much.
I've had a couple ask me. One of them I changed, the other one I didn't change. And the one that I did change, he's like spreading it to the other villagers.
It's like a plague. Now people that shouldn't be calling me Broham are calling me Broham. I told Ham to change this from Hammy to Broham, and now like everybody's calling me Broham. I'm like, why are you calling me Broham?
I've had two two villagers asked me if they wanted me to call them the nickname they chose, and I was like, nope. And then they go like, so what do you want me to call you? And I was like, Kevin. They're like, well, that's what I already call you. I was like, that's right.
Poor babies. Well, I cannot wait to get to that catchphrase part because I gotta think of something nice, and I will post it.
And that's actually when you complain to Isabel about villagers.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what she's about, is resetting the sayings and the clothing they wear.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so if someone gives them an offensive saying or gives them like a shirt or something that has something offensive on it to you, then you could be like, no, reset.
I see. Okay, well that's good to know. Tips and tricks, very, very nice. Moving on from Animal Crossing. All right, guys, we're gonna get back to talking about the gaming moments that made you love video games. Do you guys have a couple or a few on your mind that you thought about?
I got one. It's kind of an example of failure, honestly, but it just kind of stoked my perseverance when it came to like beating games. Mm-hmm. And it was Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy game. Oh, wow. I picked what turned out to be like the hardest party setting. No. It was a white mage, black mage, red mage, and a warrior. And
I think that was my exact. No, I had a thief.
And so I get to the end of the game, and I've struggled, and I got there, and I was like, okay, last boss, awesome. Last boss took out my red mage and my black mage. White in that game, you could not use a raise spell in battle.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
So you could cure, but that was it. And then he took out my white mage, and all I had left was my knight, the upgraded warrior class. And I took that last boss down. I took him down by probably a little bit over 50% of his health.
Mm-hmm.
And that jerk used Cure 3 and full healed himself. I was so mad.
Okay, y'all.
Nice. Eric, how about you, bro?
See, now I gotta think, because the original thing was supposed to be some of your favorites, and now you changed it into what'd you call it again? What was it again? Make me love games?
This is a moment in your gaming history that made you fall in love with video games.
See, now I gotta think about this.
And it doesn't have to be, something that's old. It doesn't have to be from your past. It can be something that's fairly recent. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'll go with mine while you think about it. For me, there's a game called Celeste on the Switch, and I don't know if you guys ever played it or not.
I've seen it.
Okay. Well, Celeste is an 8-bit platformer with basically a story about depression, but it doesn't come off that way until like the very, very end. And the game is about mental health and mental health awareness. And the platforming is extremely challenging and satisfying, because if you die, you start off exactly where you were, you know what I'm saying, on that screen. It goes screen by screen. And the premise of the game is you're this little girl, and you climb this mountain, and you deal with her depression as you go to the mountain. But you meet these characters throughout, and I've played games that had amazing stories before, you know what I'm saying, like the Uncharted series, and it's very cinematic and it tells this amazing story. But this was the first game in a long time that wasn't that full 3D, HD graphic, epic series. It's this freaking 16-bit game that told this amazing story, and it had me engrossed the entire time I played this damn game. I did not put it down. From the time I picked it up, from the time I beat that game, I seriously did not put that damn game down. And I thought about that game long after I played it, and I've gone back and played it since. But it's just one of those moments that you realize that it doesn't have to be the PlayStation 4 game to tell this amazing, enthralling story. It could be the 16-bit game that make you fall in love with the story and keep going. So,
okay.
That's definitely my moment.
I got my moment now. Okay, so just how you said 16-bit mountains. Don't ask how these commands came to what it comes to, but Chrono Trigger was literally the game that made me fall in love with the RPG, truly fall in love with RPGs. Like, I played RPGs, but it was truly Chrono Trigger that made me say, I must play all JRPGs. I love that game. Like, and then one of the most memorable moments is like when you're climbing, and I'm just even thinking about this earlier today with Masamune. Like, I was just thinking about like when you're climbing up that mountain. And then just like how the atmosphere of the game, it was like it told a tale just looking at the mountain itself, like the fog coming in, like I had to keep on going from side to side and just like seeing those imps and stuff. Like there was actually this one part where the imps are bullying another imp, but then they all jump you when you actually go to try to help them. it just brought a lot, and then it's just like, yeah. I could go on about for years and years about Chrono Trigger, but Chrono Trigger is literally the game that made me be like, I want to play RPGs. Like, I went back and played Final Fantasy II, which was Final Fantasy IV on Super Nintendo, because I played Chrono Trigger, and then I went got Breath of Fire. I went out of the way to play all of these different RPGs just because I was in such love of how well Chrono Trigger was. Like, even if some of the games weren't as good, I just wanted to play them all. It just made me want to play JRPGs all day, every day.
I'm pretty sure you played that game before, yeah, Kevin?
Yeah, I loved Chrono Trigger. I actually played it as a borrowed game, but like I beat it, and then I ended up getting it for the Game Boy Advance when it came out. When I had the PlayStation, I got Chrono Cross, which I will say I like Chrono Trigger better, but Chrono Cross gets a lot more hate than it deserves, honestly.
I'll agree with you there completely. It was no Chrono Trigger, but it wasn't a bad game.
I just kind of wish that they would release the mid story, the Radical Dreamers, because it wasn't like a full on game, but it was also only in Japan.
I thought that was like a fan made thing.
No, it was legit. It was supposed to be like the in between of what happened after Chrono Trigger before Chrono Cross. Which
would have been great because when you play through Chrono Cross and you're like, where's the other characters at? And then they don't really even go into any detail about it until near the end of the game when they show like stuff that happened in the past. And even then, they kind of didn't really go too far into it.
It came out in 1996. It was a text-based adventure video game.
Oh.
And it was developed by Square.
Oh wow, really?
It was for the satellite view that they did for the Super Famicom, where they would like release a game. They did that 16-bit upgrade of the original Legend of Zelda. But
I wanted to play that so bad.
It was like I think episodic. Like you could only do so much during that time frame. I don't even know how it worked.
It didn't last too long, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for those moments, and I think we'll do that again in the upcoming weeks. Moving on. Rick, I got a little surprise for you guys. It's going to be a retro gaming quiz. And this quiz is titled 15 trivia questions only for hardcore Nintendo fans.
Oh boy. There's a lot of Nintendo games out there.
So I hope you're ready. We probably only going to do 10 because of time. But let's see where this goes. Okay, you ready for the first one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. The first question is, what is the best-selling Nintendo exclusive game of all time? Is it
Super Mario?
Listen. Is it A, Duck Hunt, B, Super Mario Bros, C, Mario Kart Wii, or D, Wii Sports?
Okay, first of all, you said this was a Nintendo, right?
Yes.
Nintendo company.
I thought you said this was a retro. Well, I guess it's kind of retro.
Well
then, my answer is Wii Sports. I remember that thing selling like so very good. I don't know why, especially when I think it came with the freaking Wii itself. But I'm pretty sure it's Wii Sports.
Okay, Kevin.
That is my answer. What about you, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, I kind of think it would be the Wii Sports, just because like when the Wii came out and people were just like getting into the whole like exercising and the gaming, and then that brought people together like even non-gamers were getting into it because of that.
Exactly. Well, the answer is Wii Sports. In 2006, the game sold 82 million copies, and that is more than double Super Mario Bros. All right, next question. Which of the following games did Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto not design? Donkey Kong, Kid Icarus, Excitebike, or Legend of Zelda?
Kid Icarus.
I was almost thinking it was Excitebike, but I think you're right about Kid Icarus, because Kid Icarus wasn't really... He didn't get the love that most Nintendo games got, and like Shinjiro, almost all of his games got sequels pretty quick on. Look how long it took Kid Icarus to get a sequel. So yeah, I'm going to say Kid Icarus.
Okay, and the answer is, you are correct, Kid Icarus. It says that Toru Osawa and Yoshio Sakamoto are credited with designing Kid Icarus. Sakamoto also is a co-creator for Metroid.
Makes sense.
Next question. What is the first game that Princess Zelda was a playable character in? A. Zelda Wand of Gamelon.
That's that horrible Philips CDI game. That is what that is. Go on.
B. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. C. Smash Bros. Melee. Or D. Smash Bros. Brawl.
The horrible Philips CDI game. Wait, what did you say?
A. The CDI game.
Yes,
that was the area.
Yes, it was that game. Yes, that horrible game.
You guys are good. It is that CGI game from 1993.
It doesn't exist.
It says this truly atrocious game was released for the ill-fated Philips CDI system. The low-budget, crudely animated game was created with almost no involvement from Nintendo.
Nintendo didn't want to be responsible. They just like, here, you can borrow Mario and the Legend of Zelda franchise, and then yeah.
They turned Mario into like a hotel puzzle game. The thing horrible. Is, when I saw that game in a game magazine, I was like, oh my god, it's a new Zelda game. I want this. But
no, I played these games at Circuit City. Circuit City had the Philips CDI on display, and I played those games. No, sir.
I saw a video of the Angry Gamer playing those games, and yeah, I'm glad
I'd be the Angry Gamer if I played those games more.
You are the Angry Gamer.
He really is.
I'm not always angry.
But we love you, Hulk. We love you, Hulk. All right, next question. What is the best-selling Nintendo handheld of all time? Is it
Let's just hear the choices.
The Nintendo Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the DS, or the 3DS?
No, I should know this.
I'm gonna say the 3DS.
Let me think for a minute, because this is actually like a very historic thing, and I believe it's either the 3DS or the Advance, or it might be the regular DS. Actually, I'm gonna say regular DS.
Ooh, you almost got it wrong there, Jones. Yes, it is the DS. It says that the Nintendo DS is the second best-selling video game system of all time, second only to the PlayStation 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, next
question. It makes sense because the DS was basically, the 3DS was a spawning of the DS, but everybody had a DS. I had a couple DS.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Next question is, which pro baseball, I'm not sure if you guys are going to know this, which pro baseball team did Nintendo become majority owner of in 1992? Let's see, is it the Seattle Mariners, the Oakland Athletics, the Kansas City Royals, or the Tampa Bay Rays?
I'm going to say the Mariners.
I but I'm going to say the O's. No, I'm going to say the third. What was the third choice?
Third choice was Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Royals.
Okay. The answer is the Mariners, actually. And it says that Nintendo, headquartered in Redmond, Washington, purchased the team in 1992 as a goodwill gesture to keep it from relocating to Petersburg, Florida.
Yeah, I had no idea about that at all.
Yeah,
I was really going off the fact that Nintendo is Washington-based for Nintendo of America.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's a good smart way of doing it here.
Alright, next one. Which Nintendo game caused enough... I forgot about this question. Which Nintendo game caused enough injuries in children to result in an $80 million settlement? Is it Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 64, or Mario Party, the original?
Mario Party.
Mario Party, because you said it's a Nintendo game. And Tony Hawk is not a Nintendo game.
But it was on N64.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still say it's Mario Party.
I'm gonna go with Mario Party. That game causes some aggravation.
It is Mario Party, and there was a game where you had to spin the joystick in the middle, and people put their freaking palm on it and like spins it really fast, and it causes all kind of cuts and contusions and all kind of issues.
Bet that game didn't make it back into a fecal.
I know, right? It said, under the terms of the settlement, Nintendo was required to provide 4 sets of gaming gloves to every owner of Mario Party who requested them.
Wow.
That's how hardcore those people went on that freaking mini game.
Sounds like me playing half of my damn games.
The gloves are probably just remnant power gloves that they couldn't sell.
I missed the power glove. I think it was awesome.
I never had one. I wanted one.
It was so awesome.
I never had one, but I saw it on The Wizard. That movie.
Yes, and I thought on The Wizard, and I thought I kept it in the Game Master.
I had the power glove and I had the power pad where you play track and field on, and oh my god, that game was so awesome. All right, next
never
one.
Had either of those, believe it or not.
2 more left, just because of time. What is the first Nintendo game to feature Mario in it? Is it Mario Bros, Tennis,
Nope.
Donkey Kong, or Wrecking Crew?
Donkey Kong.
Wrecking Crew.
Wait, Wrecking Crew? You think it's wait? Donkey Kong was like OG, because Donkey Kong was on Atari. Keep that in mind.
Donkey Kong was on arcade first.
Vision.
I'm thinking Wrecking Crew though.
I think it's Donkey Kong.
And the answer is Donkey Kong 1981.
Oh yeah!
It says, in this arcade classic, Mario must jump over barrels, blah blah blah, we know that, and rescue Pauline. I thought for the longest time Pauline was Peach.
Nope, Pauline, and remember he was Jumpman back in the day.
So I thought that was a trick question.
Oh no! I'm like, Wrecking Crew, why should you pick that?
All right,
I was going against my gut.
And we are going to end the podcast with this very, very final question. What is the name of Nintendo's first ever Game & Watch title? Was it Ball? Yes, that's what it was called. Was it Oil Panic? Yes, that's a name. Was it Egg? That is one of them. Or was it Mario Bros?
Oil
Definitely
Panic.
wasn't that one.
It was Oil Panic.
I'm gonna say Ball. Cause I really don't know, but I'm just gonna say Ball for reasons.
Just for reasons. And the answer was, in 1980, the 4-letter word, ball.
Yeah! I dominated this quiz other than the questions I just literally had no idea about.
It said ball is a simple juggling game that sold about 250,000 copies.
How you think Oil Painting? That's too advanced for a Game & Watch title game to be that early on.
But nah, because I was going based off of
Mr.
Oil Panic. Yep, Mr. Game & Watch. Oil Panic is one. I did try that Game & Watch Mario Brothers game, and that thing was hard as hell. My God.
All right, folks. Well, we are going to forego reviewing This Week in Gaming History, but I will post it at the end of the podcast when we close out. So you guys can stay tuned for that to see what games came out this year. Not this year, but this week in gaming history. And at the end of the video, there will be a link to the Blackout Challenge issued by Kevin's son in Mario Maker.
Issued by Kevin and assisted by Kevin's son.
There you go. And
I'm gonna simply say, just watch the video. Just watch the video.
I've not watched it yet, but I saw how long they were, and I'm like, why are they so damn long? He must have died like 1,000
because one level was broken.
But I'm excited to watch it, and you guys should go check it out too. So if you want to hear Blackout do some Homer screams, I'm pretty sure they're on there. With that being said, nice. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us this week. It's been a blast with you, man. Really had a good time.
Yeah, anytime.
Blackout, we love you, brother. And until next time, keep on
leveling up.
Nice. Catch y'all next time.
Take care.
Ta-ta.
Shelves restocked for doing so much more than your job. Everyone at the Kroger family of brands says thank you.
Great を使って獣の肉を取ってくるんだよ。この娘を元に戻す儀式に必要だからね。放っておくと人間じゃなくなっちまうよ。
セレス！
で、儀式に必要な肉は取ってこれたのかい？
あ、
これはの下僕と言われる獣の肉だよ。しかし巫女にもなったって娘がまだ呪いは完全には解けていないよ。その紋章が背中にある限りね。
この獣の呪いを解く方法はないの？
また塔に行くんだよ、レン。
これが主。
無事に戻ってこれるといいがね。